Hi, my name is Chris J, and you are watching Analogue Culture.
Hello, Chris J.
My brother.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been great.
It's been great, nah?
It's been great, bro.
And this interview has been a long time coming.
Since last year, Jan.
Yeah,
Been wanting to do this?
Yeah, longer than that. Last year, Jan, we actually confirmed a date, but we didn't do it.
Yeah.
And there was a time before we were supposed to do this. I think I was supposed to drive to you, and do the interview. But finally, it's here.
Finally.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, brother.
How
Like
have
I
you
said,
been?
it's been a while. I've been wanting to do this. I've never had a sat down with anyone just speaking about my journey in music or just what the scene is like, what the culture is like for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, bro. Normally, I like the show to start with the background, so as people can actually get to find out who Chris J and where Chris J is from. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Heideveld. A lot
Heide-
of people don't know where that is.
Yeah.
And I normally say it just sits in between Pontyville,
Okay.
Guguletu, Menenberg.
Is it?
That's where it sits. So a lot of people don't know Heideveld, but they'll know the surrounding areas. So I'll just say it's close to Pontyville. It's
Yeah,
close to Cooks.
yeah.
It's close to Menenberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say just now that I've never been to Heideveld before. Yeah, that's
Stone
interesting.
throw away from Cooks, bro.
Is it?
Stone throw away.
Okay. You grew up in Heideveld?
All my life. Been there all my life. Never stayed elsewhere. Well, I moved to Kimberley. Funny story. Moved to Kimberley when I was, I think, 14 years old.
Okay.
14 or 13 years old. Moved there for about 2 weeks. Things didn't work out there as planned. Came back with mother and sister.
Yeah.
And then father still stayed in Kimberley for a while.
Okay.
I wouldn't call that moving, man. It's just
Nah,
sightseeing. I went
it's
to
a
go
vacation.
sightseeing. I went to go look at the big hole, bro.
Yeah. How was Kimberley, by the way?
I didn't experience much.
Yeah.
Again, I was still young, so my father moved to Kimberley, got a job there.
Yeah.
And we were set to go there and go stay in Kimberley for a while. And then the majority of my time there was swimming in the pool. At the house my father bought, swimming in the pool, playing PlayStation, whilst my mother and father were looking for schools for my sister and I.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out as planned. Came back to Cape Town. And then my father stayed in Kimberley, and it was just my mother and my sister. And then we moved back home.
Okay. This is 14 years old, right?
When I was 14.
Yeah, around
Not too good at math, bro. But yeah, probably 14 years ago.
Yeah, all right. At 14 years old. What are you listening to at 14 years old? Music-wise?
Funny enough, I was actually put onto Deep House back then already.
Yeah.
And big homage goes, or big shout out goes to my friend. A lot of people know him, J Music, or as Justin.
Yeah.
He used to go by DJ 5 Star back in his DJ days. He stepped away from DJing, but he introduced me into Deep House from very, very young.
Yeah.
So I always loved music. I was surrounded by music. My father is a musician.
Yeah.
So he played in the police band
Okay.
all his life.
Okay.
And then he eventually became a director of music in the police band, and that's why he moved to Kimberley.
Ah.
So in my house, there was always instruments laying around.
Yeah.
So I was drawn, and my father sings as well. He has his own singing group, and now eventually has his own band. So I was always just surrounded by
Music.
because my father is a musician. So whether it be classical music, whether it be gospel, a cappella music, just music in general.
Yeah.
I've always been tapped in, and me not realizing it back then, but I was open to listen to anything.
Nice.
And if you ask me today, one of my favorite things or genres of music to listen to is brass music. I'll sit and listen to brass music.
Okay.
Hours and hours on end, bro.
I think it ties in with CPH4 instrumentals.
It does?
Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. So here you are coming back and you're already put onto Deep House. Again, the question, what are you listening to at that stage? Like, what are some of the tracks that you remember at 14 years old that actually just like, even till today, like this is a top tune?
the names. I'm very bad with names, but there was a song. I think it's DJ Sindo.
Yeah.
Song's called Nguelo.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites back then.
Okay.
Yeah, again, I'm very bad with names when it comes to like tracks of back then. But again, homage to J Music, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got tapped in, but he used to have a brand called, or was hanging around guys, and they started their own collective.
Yeah.
And they were called what Clint is running at the moment.
Yeah.
So Clint's brother Cruz, Justin, Irshad Samai, Chad Wall,
Yeah.
they all started a concept together. And then I think that's where he started collecting music. And then eventually he used to sit in the car, in his driveway, in his father's car,
Yeah.
and he listened to music. And eventually I started walking past, playing soccer in the road. He was listening to music in the car. Eventually I just started just sitting in the passenger seat, listening to music with him. I was hooked from the get-go.
Yeah, shout out, man, to the
From
nigga.
the get-go. But like, if you ask me what I'm listening to in terms of names,
Yeah,
I'm so
you-
bad. But like, if you play that song, that takes me back to the year
Those days.
2007, the year 2008. That's when I really started tapping into music.
Nice. Okay, cool. Time flies, it goes by. Were you DJing by then, or was it just you listening to music and starting let's say, your collection?
Yeah, so when I started high school, a friend of mine, he's now a hip-hop DJ Casper.
Yeah.
He's in, I think, North Korea or South Korea at the moment.
Okay.
Teaching over there. But when I started high school, obviously I liked music, and then he started hearing the music that I was playing on my cell phone.
Yeah.
During breaks, after school, I was always just playing music. And then he was like, he's also like listening to music, and he enjoys music and stuff. Eventually started getting into mobile gigs.
Yeah.
And then we called ourselves house cats.
Okay.
So we were like, there were guys in like older grades that were DJing.
Yeah.
But then just for like our grades from like 8, 9, grade 10, we then were the DJs on the school.
Yeah.
And every house party, now you must think, you were at the age of 16 years old, 14 years old, you starting high school, it's new friends, you just throwing parties. Eventually, my mother then bought me I'll never forget, I think it was about 3,000 Rand, Cash Crusaders.
Yeah.
2 Dixon 15-inch speakers.
Yeah.
8-channel mixer. And then I eventually bought myself a Mix Track Pro.
Okay.
And then from there, it was mobile gigs.
Just on that, no? Mix Track Pro, that was by Gemini.
No, that was by Newmark.
Newmark.
Listen to
right.
this funny story. So, again, J Music.
Yeah.
So he had a little party called Hush.
Okay.
Hustle Until Something Happens. And that's a local party that he had within our area.
Yeah.
At the high school hall.
Okay.
It was him and another friend of mine called Wahid. They had a party called Hush. They bought this little Gemini controller. It took CDs at the time, small little jog wheels. And then they wanted to eventually, because I started tapping into music and I was so hungry, and they stopped doing what they were doing, and then they wanted to sell the thing to me.
Yeah.
Eventually, they got rid of the thing, and then another opportunity came on Facebook. I met this guy, I think his name was Alex
Yeah.
at the time. I can't remember his name. And he had, I think it was the Gemini 250s.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember those decks, but it was 2 decks, big jog wheels, looks like CDJs, blue screens.
Yeah.
Takes CDs as well. I bought that. I didn't have a mixer.
Oh.
So at the moment, I'm trying to figure out how do I get this connected to the 8-channel mixer that I have.
So it could work.
So it could work, and it didn't end up working for me. And then mother was like, nope, I bought you this. This money that you're making with mobile gigs, you're going to have to figure out your own way going forward now.
Yeah.
Then what happened was I swapped the 2 Geminis
Okay.
for the mix track.
Ah.
Because it would be easier for me to use the laptop with
With the mix track.
the mix track.
Yeah.
And then that's how it just kicked off from there.
Nice. Which literally then makes it easier. I just wanted to say on the mix track, I hate those decks. I bought one earlier on in the game to use, I hated the idea that it restricted me to a laptop because it would do everything there and I would lose control.
Yeah, you're talking about the grey one, right?
Yeah, got rid of that
I
thing.
have mastered that thing, bro. In my time of mobile gigs,
Yeah,
nobody could, at the time, nobody could tell me how this thing works, with what to do. I mastered that thing, bro.
yeah,
Hard,
yeah.
bro.
It's a good starting out tool, and it helps out going into the game. So here you are now. You were telling me about the hash parties. So they stopped running the hash parties.
Yes.
Did you jump into those?
No.
No.
So at the time, father didn't want to let me go to these parties. Obviously, the area that I stay in gets rough out there.
Yeah.
At these parties. And then eventually there was a guy named Andre. He knew I was a DJ, so he was like a family friend.
Yeah.
And he had a production company called Amakania Productions. And then they started this parties again at the high school.
Okay.
So then I was a bedroom DJ at the time. He came over to my house because he knew I was DJing, and he sat down with my father.
Yeah.
And he told my father, look, they're doing this concept at the school. They know it's a bit dangerous and stuff for me to come out there. Me being young, my father doesn't want me to mingle with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Then they started Amakania Productions. We did the parties at the school, and then I started playing for people in my area.
Yeah.
And then obviously they are more into the commercial side of things, and I was playing D-Pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then played D-Pass, everything was all good, all fine, they didn't have any issues. And then that eventually stopped because things started getting out of control.
Yeah.
With people fighting at the parties and whatever, so that didn't happen anymore.
Okay.
Then, geez, this is taking me way back, bro. Then I started entering competitions, DJ competitions.
Okay.
And then there was, I can't remember the name of the DJ competition, at Good Up FM. Went there straight after school. I'll never forget, mother picked me up at school with a bus, straight from school, straight to Good Up FM on the bus. And I entered this competition.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, DJ MD was one of the judging people before you actually go play live on air or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then I made it into top 10, and then I played on Good Hope FM, and then people had to judge and stuff. Didn't win that competition. There was a club then that opened in Milnerton called Xanadu Groove Lounge. Okay. And this was in grade 9. And then played at the competition. There were 3 rounds, and my boy Casper, he was with me as well.
Yeah.
Played 3 rounds, so 1 week, and there was another round and another round. Won that competition.
Nice.
And then I was eventually a resident DJ there for a while.
Nice.
Then that didn't work out.
Okay.
They closed down. There wasn't really people walking into the club. They couldn't really afford to pay me what they promised me.
Yeah.
That went south. Then I joined Ronix Rated's crew. I don't know if he still plays on Good Hope FM. And he had a crew called Underground Productions.
Yeah.
And they put me on.
Nice.
In clubs. That's when I started doing Long Street, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
How old are you then?
I am 15 at the time. I'm not supposed to be there. So Ron was actually like a guide for me.
Yeah.
So they didn't want me there because I'm too young. So either I could get in with my sister.
Yeah.
Or if I'm not with my sister, Ron actually had to oversee me being there.
Okay.
And then I get sent home after the hour.
Nice.
And then it eventually became such a regular thing where I just started staying in the clubs.
Okay.
And then because my sister was with me all the time, shout out to my sister, that's my day one.
Yeah.
Goes with me everywhere. And then that really left off from there. So at the time I couldn't play deep house music because it was a commercial scene.
Yeah.
So now I'm tapped into a commercial scene and I'm playing commercial music. Commercial music. And I was going by very embarrassing. I was DJ Supersonic at the time. Don't ask me where that name comes from. I was DJ Supersonic at the time, playing commercial music. And then I was like, you know what, like, I'm listening to deep house music on the side.
Yeah.
And that's really the music I want to tap into.
Yeah.
And then I eventually tapped into deep house music.
Yeah.
And that was now grade 10.
Yeah, that's early ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 15 and 16 years old. So like I speak to a lot of people about this, and sometimes people ask me like, how long have you been DJing for now? I'm like, dude, I've been playing for probably over 10, 12 years now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a lot of people don't know that I've been playing for so long, and that I know like the peoples and the surroundings, and they always get shocked.
But I think more so you're a humble guy, that you generally don't put that out there first. You
Yeah.
put Chris J out there first, and then that's what we end up knowing.
100%.
Which is why the need for such. you
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, I also didn't want to, like, I tapped away from the commercial scene, and I didn't kind of want people to know that
Yeah, you used to do that.
I was in that scene. I didn't want to be tied eventually to being with the commercial scene anymore. So I broke away completely, went silent for a while as a DJ, and then I started hanging out with the correct people, and eventually tapped into deep house.
All right, here's one for you. For you to tell me that your dad was a brass instrument lover, I tell you right now that a lot of brass instrument players that I know literally collected vinyls back in the day. Did he ever do that? How come you never fell into that line of DJ?
Lots and lots. I think most of the things that he had was mainly brass music, and he was heavily tapped into like a cappella music as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
heavy voice a cappella vibes.
Oh, okay.
And so not so much really dance records or anything of that sort, but he'd play LPs, or I know it as LPs back then.
Yeah.
Play LPs, and then we listen in the lounge. He still has it up until this day, his little set. And he maybe from now and then he plays LPs. Not as much new, but not really dance records, not really the popular things. He had like Michael Jackson on like the Thriller album.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you like really tapped in, you would have like fucking PGs or
Yeah.
whatever the
yeah.
case may be.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really that tapped into vinyl on that side of things, but more brass music.
More
and
brass
acapella,
music.
yeah.
I'll ask you a question later, because I know for a fact that if you listen to music quite clearly and you listen like to a lot of stuff, you'll always hear samples from stuff that's from back then.
100%.
And for people that grow up like your dad now having a cappella vinyls, have you ever considered using that for music production?
Flipping it out. Not really, no.
Not really.
I don't think I'm really that good in flipping samples.
Yeah.
Let me rather just say this, like my production is not up to speed.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll tap into that a bit later as well. But like, never really
Considered that.
considered that at all. No.
You should. You
I
should.
know.
For what you guys did with CPH4, it's a similar process.
Yeah.
It's a similar
Basically
process.
sampling something. and-
Yeah. When does that start, literally? You're already in the clubs, you're DJing, you want to turn around and say, we're going back into being a deep house DJ now.
Yeah.
When does the music production seep into this conversation?
Music production. So my sister had a boyfriend at the time, and he was into rap music. And then he started making his own beats
Yeah.
on Fruity. And then on his laptop, I started playing around with Fruity.
Yeah.
He showed me a bit of things of how to make beats, how to put things together, and that's eventually how I started tapping in. So he used to come stay at our place. He was from George.
Yeah.
And then he studied here in Cape Town.
Okay.
He used to sleep over at our place. And then eventually I started just taking his laptop. He'd allow me to take his laptop, started making beats from there. So he kind of showed me the ropes
Okay.
with production. Eventually I discovered, like, everything just revolves around music for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything. I wanted to be a chef back then. That kind of got boring for me. Like, I didn't want to do anything in that line.
Yeah.
And then it was just music.
Okay.
Music. Dad said, when you leave school, you're gonna go study law, you're gonna go do IT, you're gonna go do. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste your money. Like,
On something I don't like, literally.
yeah, on something that I don't like.
Yeah.
Which kind of today I do regret, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I wanted to do music.
Yeah.
Went to Cape Audio College after my matric year,
Okay.
and that was where I wanted to be, Cape Audio College.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, funds was too much.
Yeah.
And then the alternative was for me to go to Soul Candy,
Okay.
and that's where I really tapped into production.
All right. In Soul Candy. now.
That's how old am I? I'm 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 18. I know some people do it like from very, very young.
Yeah.
And that's why they are so flipping good
Yeah.
at production. But I feel like I tapped in very, very late. And yeah.
I don't think so. I don't really think so. I think when you're younger than that, your focus is literally just to get through school.
Yeah.
Post school, then you literally just focus. It's what you want before.
Yeah.
And once you're out of school, then you can make a decision like, nah, law is not going to do
100%.
justice for me. I'd rather do the music.
Yeah. It really got to the point where, like, in my matric year, where I was supposed to be studying for matric exams,
Yeah.
I am out doing gigs. On the day I got my results, so we had like, you go to the school, you stand outside, the principal makes the announcement and whatever.
Yeah.
And then my dad looked at me and I looked at my dad and I could see the look on his face like, this guy ain't gonna make it, bro. He ain't gonna make it. But then 100% pass rate at the school.
Yeah.
Automatically I passed relatively well though.
Yeah.
C, bachelor's pass.
Mm.
So I had opportunity to go do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I still chose
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think just because one of the reasons is the channels for music has never been recognized as a career.
Yeah.
Especially in South Africa for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the support that lawyers would get, support that doctors would get,
Yeah.
and every other profession in South Africa is not the same for music. And I think that's one of the reasons why our parents literally were like,
Yeah.
we're not going to focus a lot on music. But I think the tide has turned. The other day, somebody was telling me DJ Maphorisa got 20 million from Sony to fund some of the projects that he had. I just didn't follow up with that story. But I mean, if record labels can invest 20 million into production, I mean,
Yeah.
man. So there is something flowing there.
Yeah.
Here you are, you're at Soul Candy. Tell me about your Soul Candy days.
Yeah. Blanca Mazimela.
Yeah.
Big shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
I think he saw something in me
Yeah.
whilst he was still on his come up as a lecturer at Soul Candy.
Yeah.
He really got me tapped in with regards to how to write music
Okay.
and how to make music. More so that when he was busy with music whilst we were, he would call me to his desk and be like, Chris, need your flavor here. Come add something here, or like write something here for me, and let's just get something started.
Yeah.
And it wasn't more so for me like, I need rights to whatever you are doing or whatever. It was just, I was just hungry to like make music.
Yeah.
So at the time, journey was really great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Every day. Keep in mind, at the same time, me studying at Soul Candy, I'm still playing in clubs at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm still DJing, and at the time I felt like I was miles ahead of the people in my class.
Yeah.
More so, there was a day where Ryan Murgatroyd had done a guest lecture, and I don't think he will remember this or even remember me.
Yeah.
But more so, obviously, he's asking people, let's have a listen to your things, and we're all standing around the desk, the main desk, and he's putting in USBs and he's listening.
Yeah.
And then comes to something that I wrote, and he's like, okay, just play me something else. And I play again, and he's like, okay, can you play me some more? Like, what do you have? He spoke to me after the class. He's like, he really likes my composing side of things.
Yeah.
But the production side of things was lacking.
Yeah.
A bit. So I wasn't really too good in being the producer, but I was really good at writing music.
Yeah.
I could sit down now, if you put me down with a laptop, give me an hour, I can write you a full song.
Yeah.
But really making it sound good, that wasn't really a strong point for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
So it was the technical aspect that you were literally training for at Soul Candy.
I was lacking.
Yeah.
And that's what you go there for. Obviously, you can write music. They teach you how to compose music. They teach you how to play the piano, the very, very basics of playing piano.
Yeah.
And then I was more so tapped into that side of things.
Yeah.
Enjoyed playing the piano, writing stuff.
Yeah.
And not more so like you just spoke about sampling things.
Yeah.
And
More so creating from scratch.
Yes. So that was lacking on my side, which is more the production side of things. Adding reverbs here, adding delays here,
Yeah.
sends, whatever the case may be. That was lacking.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But the journey at Soul Candy was good. Blanca helped me so much.
Yeah.
More so, we had started getting better where I was sitting in studio. I was literally the first person there and the last person to leave.
Yeah.
So I had a class, let's say for example, my class was like from 10 till 12, and then maybe there's another session from like 1 till 4.
Yeah.
So 1 till 4 maybe has a different set of students, and I'm in studio. I am whacking things up in the studio, bro.
Yeah.
All day. So much so that they had to get a schedule for like, oh, Chrissy's in the studio too much. Like, we need to give other people a chance to come work in the studio. But like, I just felt like I was so hungry and I didn't see any hunger from anyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I was making music, nobody would come into the studio and be like, yo, like, how long are you still gonna be?
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wanna use the studio. They'd come into the studio and they'd just stand around there and
just
listen
watch
to what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Or watch me work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, let me just take the
You're not
opportunity.
saying anything.
Yeah.
You can add, you can say, yeah, add this, add that, but I'm gonna continue working if you're not gonna come do anything.
Yeah, I get you.
And that bit, I came out top of my class.
Yeah.
At Soul Candy.
How then do you become a lecturer at Soul Candy?
Wow. So, left Soul Candy. I was without a job for a while.
Yeah.
I think I was home for like 2 years.
Are you still DJing clubs
I'm
then?
still DJing, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Still DJing. And then I was at home for like, I think 2 years or so.
Yeah.
So I started at Soul Candy 2014, 2016, 2017. I was freelancing for a company called IVTM as a junior AV technician. And that's like setting up sound for conferences in hotels, projectors. If a band comes to play, I'm setting up the band, miking up the band, and I'm doing that. Then I got a full-time job at Amazon.
Yeah.
So at the time, whilst I'm freelancing, 2016, 2017, I link up with Pierre, and I'm doing the show at the time, the radio show that you played on.
Yeah, Q, I think it was.
Q Online.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the radio show as well. That's starting to get traction.
Let me just get this right so as we can get the timeline right. You're at IVT as a technician?
As a freelancer.
As a freelancer. That's the 2 years now you're out of Soul Candy and waiting to just jump in. Then you've got Q Online.
So and whilst I'm doing IVTM, I'm doing the online radio show as well.
And then you got your DJing schedule.
Then I have the DJing as well. Sheesh. So now I'm doing everything related to just music.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not paying the bills, brother.
Ish.
It's not paying the bills. I don't have money to live.
Yeah.
I'm staying with my parents. Eventually I start realizing like, yo, I need to start looking after myself. I'm getting older. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a burden for mother and father, for them having to look after me and pay for me having to be here. I don't have my own money. Well, I have my own money,
but it's not.
And at the time, I wasn't really conscious of how I am spending my money. So I made like a ton of money DJing and working, and I just spent the money.
Yeah.
And up until today, I'm still like that. I don't really have much financial. What is the word? Financial
insight.
Insight, or like good management with money. Like I always have the concept like I'm gonna spend money, money's gonna come back.
Yeah.
And then I decided I'm gonna get a job at Amazon. Worst mistake
ever
that I've made, because that then entirely got me out of music.
Yeah.
And being a DJ.
9 to 5.
Not even 9 to 5, bro. I was working crazy ass shifts.
Yeah.
So like I worked like a 2 p.m. till 1 a.m. Then I was working a 6 p.m. to like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was constantly tired. So just to jump back a bit, I met Pierre.
Yeah.
Through the radio show that I was doing.
Q.
So yes.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna like me too much for mentioning this, but he was playing at the same time I was playing in clubs in Long Street. He was going by DJ Epic at the time, playing commercial music. And at the time, he was really pushing. He entered Best Club DJ. He done good things as a commercial DJ.
Yeah.
Then he also made the change, and then he started listening to the radio show.
Yeah.
And then I started playing deep house music. Obviously, it was a deep house radio show. then I never knew he's now tapping into deep house as well.
Yeah.
Eventually we started linking up, and then we had studio sessions at his house for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Just making beats, bro.
Yeah.
Deep house stuff, making beats. We made CPH4 in 2016, 2017.
Yeah. Sheesh. That's a while back, eh?
That's a while back.
Do
You know, the track Kaizen.
Yes.
Right? Kaizen I wrote whilst I was studying at Soul Candy.
So Kaizen is older than CPH4.
Kaizen is way, way older than CPH4.
Wow.
I wrote it at Soul Candy.
Sheesh.
I never did anything with it at all. It was sitting on my laptop. I thought nothing of it. Pierre and I were sitting in studio one day, I had my laptop there with me. I'm like, dude, like, I have the song sitting here from 2015, 2014 that I wrote at Soul Candy. Like, let's have a listen and see what we can do to, like, just flip it.
Yeah.
Let's just try and flip it.
Yeah.
Most of the song that you hear is basically what I wrote back in 2017, at Soul Candy in 2014 to 2015.
Fuck, bro. Jesus.
So I was sitting on that song, bro.
Those are two of the biggest tracks that you guys ever did. Why I say that is I've got a podcast on Hear This, like literally mixtapes that sit on Hear This. Analogue Culture 1, the first mixtape I put out, first track CPH4. Analogue Culture 2, first track Kaizen. Like what you guys were doing was coming out like literally like that, and I believe those were the times where everybody just wanted to be at We House. And literally once you guys produced something, Leighton would have the track, Kasim would have the track, and literally bam.
Do you know there was a method to what we started doing? Big credit to Pierre, because he really has a tack and a brain for these things.
Yeah.
In terms of planning things out, like Pierre won't do something without there being a plan in place.
Yeah.
So he won't just do something for the sake of doing it and putting it out there.
Yeah.
There's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from him with regards to that itself.
Yeah.
So what we did was we sat the people that I know that is really doing big things on the scene.
Yeah.
And at the time, he wasn't really well known as a deep house DJ. I've been going to deep house parties, so I know the people. People know who I am.
Yeah.
Then what we started doing was Facebook. Send me your email address.
Yeah.
Send me your email address. We compiled a big flipping mailing list.
Yeah.
And we composed a nice little email with the link to the track, sent it to everyone.
Yeah.
And we didn't release the song
Okay.
at the time. We just let people play the song.
Yeah.
So Moody was big on playing CPH4 at the time.
Yeah.
He played CPH4, then Lars Barrenrath came to Cape Town, bro. Or not Cape Town, to Joburg. Someone sent me a video or tagged me in a video on Facebook. They knew that the song was from Pierre and myself, and Lars Barrenrath was playing the song.
Sheesh.
The song's not out yet. The song's not out yet.
Yeah.
The next week, Kid Funk is playing the song on the radio. The
Yeah.
song is not out yet, though.
Jesus.
So we basically had a method to what we're gonna do first. We're gonna send it to people
Yeah.
and just see if they like it. The responses we got was banging, bro. And I feel like at the time, nobody was, maybe Dawson, I think at the time, but no one else.
Yeah.
No one else was popping at that time. Yeah, these two newbies come.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the hell are these flipping kids?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
people they knew, like some people knew who I am. Leighton knew I am. Kasim knew I am. Irfan knew I am. And that's not to boast about anything or whatever, but I spoke to these people beforehand. I was in their company. And yeah, they just get a track randomly. Oof.
Yeah.
And from there, bro, we released the song.
And it flew.
And then Vinny said, hey,
You know, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm thinking, well, the first time I heard CPH4, Moody dropped it. Bro, that track, and funny enough, I hadn't seen Lucy yet. I hadn't seen Lucy.
You hadn't?
No, hang on. I had seen Lucy. That's why I could resonate with the initial come up, right? And I was like, where have I heard this? I can't remember. Then I think it was either before Q or on that set I played at Q. I asked you, what is CPH4?
Yes, I remember.
Here's the correct version of that story. I hadn't seen the movie. Yet. Because I remember asking you, bro, what's CPH4 and who's this lady singing? And you explained the whole concept. That's when I went to go see Lucy.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a very dope movie.
I love it.
And then it kind of just gelled in, and I can tell you right now, it was genius what you guys did with that song. It was extremely genius. The instrumentation, the composing of the song was just, it was out of this world.
I know we were speaking about me actually, how I ended up at Soul Candy as a lecturer, but I think this ties in before me even getting to that position of being
a lecturer.
So that's why I just brought it up.
But
you were saying?
Yeah, but I still say, on most of the production you guys did, I rate CPH4 as number one. On most of the production that you guys did. I don't care who loves what, who doesn't love what in the politics of the game. I swear to God, we can go blow for blow. I play that song, even till today. For those that have never heard that song, they will go crazy over it. Crazy.
Yeah.
We'll come back to then when it came to the releasing of that song, what happened to it.
Yeah.
Take me back to that 2 years. Now you're doing all of this with Q. What happened to Q Radio, by the way?
Q Online eventually stopped. I don't know the reasons as to why. They stopped doing the radio, but eventually, when I got a job at Amazon, that eventually made me not available to do my show on weekends.
Yeah.
And then, it eventually got to the point where the radio just stopped. I think it was because of numbers.
Yeah.
They weren't pulling numbers and they were spending money on this thing called Shoutcast, which is a subscription that you need to get in the UK, basically where you get your hosting from. I don't know exactly how it works. But it was mainly majority of the people tapped in from overseas. So UK, and then obviously we had a few people over here. Then we had a meeting one morning with everyone that's doing the radio. And they were trying to find out whose show is doing numbers and who we can actually carry on with for being radio hosts and things. Keep in mind, I'm only doing my show for a few weeks or like a year probably. And my show did the most numbers out of all of them. Then it eventually stopped. And I've been nagging Uncle Hayden. I know Hayden Isaacs, I know him as Uncle Hayden, to get the radio show up and running again. And like, I'd like to just be involved in whatever it is. If I can just manage it or like just do my show again, that would be great. Because that actually set a good platform, not just for myself, but for other DJs as well. So a lot of the guys, and again, not to boast, but like a lot of the guys that are doing big things now that weren't big back then played on my show, bro.
I know.
I put them on, bro.
I just wanted to say that I think Q started out when Q was on. The access for internet wasn't as easy as it is now. One, two, the internet was slower. The bandwidth was the upload speeds, because you'd listen and it would cut here, it would, you know.
And people had to tap in using a link for like, I think it was on your BlackBerry at the time. Click on there and then that's how you tap into the thing. And then eventually we developed a link for Android users as well. And then eventually developed an application where people download the app
and then you can go directly. Jeez, you pioneered that game very early in the game, and look at now. Now you can actually go live stream on Twitch. You can go live stream and hear this.
It has changed quite a bit.
It has changed quite a bit. You should get back and open up Q
again. I
really
really do. And
why did you never get into the radio space? Because literally, the openings were there for you.
I've been wanting to tap in. I just didn't know how I needed to tap in. And then one day, Yusrik Meyer, Mr. Meyer, as everyone knows him in Cape Town,
Yeah.
he worked at Push Radio, or still works at Push Radio as one of the radio hosts. He
Okay.
posted something on Facebook one day about a position that is available, or positions rather, that are available at Push Radio. And then I had a chat with him with regards to me wanting to get into radio, and then eventually I then found that the way into commercial radio station is actually starting out at a community radio station.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Push Radio being a community radio station, I thought, okay, that would be the perfect opportunity for me to tap in at Push Radio and see where I can go from there. So I went to Push Radio, and it was good. We did workshops with like Atlantis radio station, like a lot of other community radio stations that we did workshops with. And that was fun into just understanding how radio works, and just the background and history of radio. And then I was tapped in for a bit, and then I kind of got put down by me getting put into the newsroom
Yeah.
at
yeah.
the radio station, and the goal was for me to be
A
get
host.
my own show, or either co-host a show with someone, and eventually that could turn into me having my own show.
Yeah.
And then I left Push Radio because I was in that space. I think I was in that space for about a year. Didn't see it going anywhere.
Yeah.
Promises were made. I didn't feel like it was going to go anywhere. Left. Never tapped into
Radio
to
again.
radio again.
Yeah, man.
Then I wanted to go back to online radio, and that radio stopped.
Here's a question for you, as a person who's grown up in Cape Town and been here for long. Do you think there's enough access for people to... First question would be, is there enough radio stations that play the music that people listen to currently? Two, is there enough opportunities to literally get people on radio?
Not in Cape Town anymore.
Not in Cape Town anymore.
At least I do think so. Not in Cape Town anymore. I mean, Irfan Pierce used to run the 33 RPM
Yeah.
show
yeah.
at the time. I think he stopped that as well, which was a deep house radio show.
Yeah.
Dino Michael had a show
Ish.
at the time. Yeah.
He put us on. That man put a lot of us on.
Yeah, man.
With that radio show. He was really onto the music itself. And yeah. So
So-
it's such a pity.
Exactly,
Such
man.
a
So
pity.
like, there are places for guys to go, but like not for the scene that we are tapped into.
Yeah.
For deep house, you're gonna get a slot, but it's not a deep house show.
Yeah. I just want to acknowledge Matt. How's it, brother? You good?
My G.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, lecturing at Soul Candy. Are you working at Amazon then?
No.
No.
So, worked at Amazon, and then I started getting bored at Amazon,
Yeah.
and then message from Blanca
Yeah.
Mazimela, yo, opportunities to be lecturer at Soul Candy. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm in.
Does-
What I have, so I left my job at Amazon 4 days before hard lockdown hit.
Sheesh. Jesus.
Before hard lockdown hit, I didn't sign any papers at Soul Candy.
Ouch.
I am without a job for probably 6 months
Sheesh.
within lockdown.
Yeah.
I have a vehicle. I have other expenses.
Yay.
I am stressed out of my mind, brother. So I do get money that covers me for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
I have money that can cover me just to see to whatever I need to see to for those 4 months.
Yeah.
But deep down, I am still stressing. Like, yo, is Soul Candy still gonna happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So lockdown eases, and I'm on Blanca's case. I'm like, yo, Blanca, like, what's going
up?
on? Like,
Yeah.
I'm listening to Cyril, and he's saying like they're easing up with regards to like schools opening and stuff. Is Soul Candy opening? Is Boston opening? What's going on?
Yeah.
Eventually he says, yo, dude, like, come, let's do an interview. Do an interview, and I message Blanca. I'm like, oh, I thought it was like signed, sealed, delivered deal. I'm in. No interview needed. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. It's just a formality.
Yeah.
You in, dog. Sign papers, and then I eventually start. This is November 2021.
Yeah, that's when the ease came in.
November 2021.
Yeah.
Then I started, and then it was eventually they just wanted me there for 2 days a week because students could only be there 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And then they found out the previous lecturer that was there actually just messed up a whole bunch of admin, and everything was just messed up.
Yes.
So they're like, you know what? Come in every day of the week. Students will only be here 2 days a week, but try and sort out
The mess.
Yeah. So I'm new to everything. I get the basic training from people at Boston, like this is how to work this thing, this is how to work this thing.
Yeah.
Blanca is all the way in Jersey, and I'm on the phone video calling him like, yo dude, what do I need to do here? What is this? What is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Eventually things ease up a bit. I start getting things in order, and now it's time for me to get people in again at Soul Candy. Obviously lockdown hit, people don't have money, Soul Candy is expensive.
Yeah.
And then I'm hunting for people to come to Soul Candy, so I'm making phone calls. People do applications online, and I'm on a system whereby you just need to send them an application form or whatever the case may be. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take all these people's names, numbers, I'm going to call and say, just come see me.
Yeah.
You don't have to register or whatever, just come see me. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
I had a chat with a few people. Eventually I started getting people. I got my first class was about 25.
That's a nice number.
Decent.
Yeah.
And then the lecturing kicks off from there, bro.
Yeah. That was fun, though, I should presume.
It was. It's just, again, I'm not throwing people under the bus, but the people at Boston wasn't really supportive of what Soul Candy was actually standing for.
Yeah.
Which made things hard.
Why didn't you move to Jersey?
There's nobody to go to in Jersey. I don't have any connect. I have one person that I know in Jersey. Well, two people. I know Blanca. Blanca is busy all the time.
Yeah.
And I literally have a friend that stays in Joburg who is a musical director as well.
Yeah.
He does theatre work. So he does things in Joburg Theatre, and then he goes to Australia for 6 months, comes back. So like if I went, I didn't really have people for me to connect with. Get it on.
I assume your link to Soul Candy School being a Cape Town branch, if it closes down, then maybe a door in Joburg would open.
So eventually I thought that would be the case as well. So there was an opportunity for me to go to Joburg, just as for me to meet all the other lecturers. So I was supposed to be fly down to Joburg. All of us were supposed to come together, and then it was supposed to be a thing where let's link, and maybe that would have opened some kind of doors for me. Because Nije de Soul, Junior SA, who's doing big things right now, he won, I think, 2 summers. He was eventually a lecturer at Soul Candy, I think in Braam. I think in Braam or PE, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
And then we started hitting off on video call. I really liked his vibe, he liked my vibe, and we were just waiting for the connect for all of us to get together. And what's this guy's name, man, that did the compilations for Soul Candy? Clive Bean.
Oh, Clive Bean, yes.
So he was still at Soul Candy as well, started hitting it off with him as well. I know he has connects. He's pretty well known with regards to the work that he's done for Soul Candy. And just the things that he's done on his own. And it just never ever happened. So I felt like if I had to go to Joburg, I would have been starting from scratch. Like I have my people here in Cape Town. You know me? It's much more easier to tap in here than
in Joburg.
Me having to start all over in Joburg again. It's
yeah.
only when C-Page 4 and Kaizen hit, that's when Chris J got a bit of a name in Joburg.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. Like I went to Joburg, I played shout out Travi, I played at Sunday Sundowners.
Yes.
Sunday Sundowners?
It's the Sundowners.
The Sundowners.
At the Hyde Park.
Yes, at Hyde Park. Played there, and then Pierre was in Joburg as well, and he played at the Great Dane. With there was a big party happening there with Ndo-C, Chama Music, Julian Gomes. China Chameleon was there. And then I went to Joburg, and then went to Great Dane because Pierre was playing there. I'm done at Sundowners. Went to where he was playing, Ubered, and then eventually now I'm there. Now I'm alone. People don't know the face yet.
Yeah, of course.
They know the name. They don't know the face yet, right? Pierre's playing, and people are watching me because I'm standing close to Pierre, and I'm like getting Pierre drinks. Okay, getting Pierre drinks, and they're like, "Who's this bruh?"
Yeah.
Eventually Pierre hops off, and then they eventually start asking him like,
Who's that, bruh?
"Who's that bruh?"
Yeah,
And then Pierre dropped the bomb like,
that's Chris J.
"It's Chris J."
Yeah.
I was flooded with people in Joburg. flooded. And I got the same question. Why are you not playing
Yeah.
in Joburg? And up until this day, I can't give you an answer, bro.
Yeesh. Pierre at some stage was signed to Stay True, right?
I don't know if
No
it
idea.
was so much so signed or if it was just some
Yeah.
collaboration with Valentine's
Okay.
or with Kid Funk, but that I'm not able to speak on. I'm not entirely sure, bro.
You were not part of that deal.
No.
Okay, cool. How come you guys stopped making? Okay, let me ask you this: from those tracks that you guys made, you literally just stopped making the music and you moved away from it. Was there a reason for that? And do we actually see Chris J going back and saying, "I'm back and producing music again"?
So are you talking about me and Pierre making music or just myself?
Just you.
Because me and Pierre, we never stopped making music.
So you're still making music?
Not today.
Oh, okay.
Pierre's doing so many big things at the moment. He
Yeah.
tours the world. And he's a busy guy.
Yeah, I know.
But there was a time when we just haven't started making music.
Yeah.
If you could go to Pierre right now and just pull up Chris J and Pierre Johnson tracks, you'll probably find over 20, 30, 40 tracks that he's just sitting, bro.
Why?
We've just made, like, I used to be at Pierre's house
Yeah.
in the morning from 10 a.m. I leave at 10 p.m. at night.
That's 12 hours of work.
Just me and him in studio whole day, bro.
And the music is just sitting there.
The music just sits, bro. We've made so many things that is just sitting there. Some projects maybe thought like,
Won't work.
not really to the standard, or we were just trying to develop, or we were just working on the craft basically until
Yeah.
we found something that was like clicked.
This works.
Yeah. Then during lockdown, I actually wrote a song that never got out there. I play it from time to time. People don't really know it's a Chris J track.
Yeah.
Song's called Break Your Heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wrote the song in lockdown, went to Pierre, things eased up a bit, went to Pierre, me and Pierre then refined the song, made it into something that we can play out. And then I played it for the first time there at Cultured Sundays at
Yeah.
Jordan's Ways of Cooking.
In Langa, yeah.
It was a live stream that was, not a live stream, just a video. It went onto YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think it's the second last song that I play.
Yeah, yeah.
And people were buzzing, bro, to the song, but the song never came out.
Why? Why is Chris J not releasing music?
Again, I feel like I'm more of a composer than a producer. And I don't think I have, or let me put it this way, I think I'm lazy. That's what it is.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll support
I think
that statement more than
I
that.
think I'm putting it out there. I think I am lazy, bro. Like, it's either me just not having time,
Yeah.
or me just not putting in the effort. And I think it's a bit of both.
What do we do as your fan base to push you to release all of those 40 tracks that you and Pierre did and some of the stuff that you did that's lying on your PC?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's just going to be a method to the madness. So what we did was, all the songs that was sitting there, we bundled them up.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, this is a 4-track EP.
Okay.
That's a 3-track EP. Maybe that's just a single that we can release on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe as a single year, just you on your own. And then, I don't know, maybe Pierre just, I think I was too reliant on Pierre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's where my problem lies.
Okay.
I think I was too reliant, thinking, cause, like I mentioned, Pierre has a tack for these things.
Yeah, yeah.
With regards to planning how things are set out and how the rollout's gonna work. I'm really not that guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's just me being lazy. And I'll put it out there straight. I am the person that wants to sit there and I just want to make the music. Just leave me to make the music.
Dear Cape Town, I know there's a lot of record labels out there. Garden Groove. Yeah, we've got British in Cape Town from Candid Being Records.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of record labels. Please reach out to Chris J and let's have that music out. I don't see why it's lying on a PC when we could be hearing great and dope EPs out here.
But
and by the way, Soulcan now is releasing again. So
100%. And there's an opportunity for me as well.
Yeah.
Anka mentioned it to us as lecturers. If you have music that you feel is good enough and suitable for the label, send it in.
Yeah, man.
Like you could do something with the label.
Yeah.
And that door is still open for me.
Yeah.
So, but it really just got to the point for me, you have a time limit on this thing because we can talk for hours, bro.
No. Feel free.
So,
confirm we've got enough time, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gotten to the point eventually where Pierre started Flight, and then there's Chris J who thought like that relationship will still work. And I still have good respect, huge respect for Pierre. I love what he's doing. And I can still go to Pierre today and Pierre will still tell me like, come on, bro, let's
work.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
And then it will always just get to that point where we either making something that doesn't work, we make something and we're sitting on, and then I'm there every day because like what we're doing is working.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to finish up what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it takes us a week. And then we sit on that track and then nothing ever happens from there. So it's either Pierre maybe just has his own releases that he got lined up.
Yeah.
And there was things that he bundled for myself. He's like, yo, Chris, that's a 4-track EP for yourself.
Yeah.
Do the rollout and see how things work. And I didn't have that knack
for
doing something of that sort.
Yeah. You know the theory of Kaizen, right? You named the song.
Continuous improvement. Yeah.
Then there's
so
that.
I named the song. Yeah.
Then there's a theory of Ikigai. You go read up on those theories and you go and you look at that music. I'm definitely sure you'll release them. I'm definitely sure. Let's talk about current now. Where is Chris J now? What are we going to see in future? I know you were telling me earlier on that you just put together a team.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Right, just before we tap into that though.
Yeah.
So I was hugely in a space where I wanted to walk away from music entirely. And then I picked up an instrument.
Why first?
Because I just didn't feel the love that I was feeling when I first started playing music.
Yeah.
So in the beginning I was hungry to play music.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care about where I was playing, for who I was playing for. I just wanted to play music.
Yeah.
And then obviously as time went on, TikTok comes into play, Instagram comes into play, sponsored posts where you have to have this persona, or you have to look a certain way, you have to carry yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
And I'm just not that guy, man. Like, I'm just about the music. And I know as a DJ in this day and age, you have to have a bit of everything. You have to do the social media.
Yeah.
You have to do things to make it known to people that you're out there busy doing things.
Yeah.
And I'm not that person that's gonna videotape everything.
Yeah.
I'm not that person that's gonna post a picture every damn day.
Yeah.
I couldn't tap into that. And I saw a lot of upcoming people that was starting to get recognition. You DJing for like 2 months.
Yeah.
You're playing festivals.
Yeah.
You're playing big things. And then I just thought back, and I don't want a handout from anyone.
Yeah.
Because I got told so many times, like, you're doing nothing for the scene.
Yeah.
And this is why you don't play on this lineup and play on this lineup. Again, I'm not trying to feel sorry for myself. Or
Hang on, dude. Somebody told you that?
Yeah. Not just one person.
People that run festivals, or just mere
just people that's in the scene, producing, throwing parties.
Yeah, no. We don't listen to those kind of people.
Yeah.
At least if it's a promoter telling you that we don't see your handprint in the game, then that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But if somebody that like you're saying, we've got a lot of fly-by-nights, people that have been playing for 2 months and they're playing festivals, and yeah.
And that's the part that kind of didn't sit well with me here, me being in the game for like 10 years, And I feel like I've been graphing with music.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold on to like old days and stuff, but like I felt like I laid some groundwork.
Yeah.
You know, like I had a radio show where I promoted Deep House when no one else was doing it but Irfan, that I can remember, doing online radio, and Dino Michael in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I don't know of who else it was. Maybe Severm Solo and
Freedom Flex.
And Freedom Flex with Everyday People on Bush Radio.
Yeah.
But who else was doing it?
No one.
No one. Nobody, bro. And I felt like I've been playing Deep House for so long as well. I started making connections with a whole lot of people.
They never festered.
Nothing came from it. And then it eventually got to the space where I felt like, you know what, these new DJs are coming up. Some of them are banging.
Yeah.
They're popping. They have the social media presence. They have the look. They're posting about what they're doing. They have a team, or either they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tap into that.
Yeah.
I'm not that social media person that can do that. And then I just lost love for DJing.
Yeah.
Because I saw so many people just popping up. And you're flying. Joburg, Bloom.
Yeah.
You're playing festivals. And I feel like I've been doing it for long. Like, why didn't that happen for me?
Yeah.
And I felt sorry for myself. I had so much regret for like, well, not regret, but I felt some type of way to like other people that promised me things. Not promised me things, but like they told me like, do this, do that, and you'll get a slot here, you'll get a slot there.
Yeah.
And then I just said, you know what, like I'm not enjoying playing music again up until last year, bro. The beginning of last year.
How did you get out of that slump?
The biggest person that I can thank for that is probably Thibaut Taz.
Yeah.
Thibaut Taz got me out of that slump, bro.
How?
I don't know. He stopped doing things for a long period of time, and Thibaut went silent as well.
True.
And then I don't know how it came about. I don't know where I saw Thibaut or how it got to the point where we started talking. And then he told me about his story and just like what he's been going through. And I don't want to dive into like his story. That's about what me and him spoke about.
Yeah.
And then he said, look, he's starting something. He's going to start throwing events and stuff again. So I'm like, count me in, bro.
Yeah. I think I remember the event. It was at Artesian.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Thibaut never heard me play before, bro.
Yeah.
So again, J Music comes into play. J Music, when Thibaut was working at Red Bull, J Music was working at Red Bull at the same time.
Okay.
So him and Thibaut had a good relationship.
Yeah.
I think Thibaut at the time was starting the events again. J Music probably said, yo, Thibaut, check out this, bro.
Yeah.
Thibaut reached out to me, and then Thibaut and I hit it off. From the first time we spoke,
Yeah.
there's never been a moment where Thibaut and I had any bad vibe or whatever, and it's always just something positive. And Thibaut sparked that again in me, and he heard me play for the first time. He said, I'll never forget the words. There was a party he threw at Club 101. I don't know if it's still Club 101.
Yeah.
And that's the first time he heard me play. And then he said, bro, I've never had a DJ had me dance in a very, very long time, the way you just made me dance.
Yeah.
And that kind of sparked something within me again. Then he was like, nah, bro, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Because I then told him my story and what's been happening with me. And the whole production thing, I felt like that wasn't getting anywhere. And music just fell apart for me, basically.
Yeah.
Until I picked up an instrument as well, and then I just started gaining a love for music again. So now I play an instrument. I've been playing an instrument for 2 years.
What's the instrument?
I play tuba, which
Okay.
is a brass bass instrument as well.
Yeah.
I play instrument for 2 years. I can read music fully, and I got into that side of things more than what I did want to do DJing.
Yeah.
And then that sparked a love. Again, linking with Thibaut sparked a love for music. Thibaut then said, look, we got this lined up, we got that lined up, and I want you involved with whatever I'm going to be doing going forward.
Yeah.
And then he got me the mix with Apple Music, and that is a continuous thing that is still going to be happening going forward.
Yeah.
But then that got me into music again. And now I have I don't have any regret for any people in the scene.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm just enjoying music, and I'm enjoying playing again.
Yeah.
And I feel that love again for music, which was a big deal for me, because I didn't do this for fame, stardom. It was me just playing music, and that's what I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And I felt that love for music again. So that's how I tapped back in.
Sheesh. That must have been a trip, bro.
It has, man. It took me down like a very, very dark, not a dark path, but I would say like I had to go speak to people. I had to speak to my partner. I had to speak to like my sister. I'm very, very big, and it's maybe like my downfall as well. Like I'm very, very big on affirmation. I'm always seeking affirmation from people.
Yeah.
And it kind of, maybe it's a lack of confidence as well.
Yeah.
Where I don't have confidence in myself and what I am doing, but then other people tells me like, bro, like, nah.
But isn't that a creator's nightmare, though?
It is. Majority of creators are probably suffering from the same.
A lot of genius musicians and genius creators have that issue for affirmation, because you literally don't want to put cack out. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
You don't want to
100%.
put... Yeah, so you literally work for perfection, and the imperfections tend to... You could literally delete a full finished song because you feel it's imperfect. Right? Like, no, this is not it. And literally, without having to have a separate pair of ears listen to it and tell you, no, this could work, or this is going to work.
Yeah.
I've said, there's similar people that have sat in that chair.
But like even if it gets to that where people tell you, look, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Again, like we just spoke about, I didn't have that. Okay, it's good. What the hell do I do now to get this
Out there.
to have good traction?
Yeah.
Don't have a knack for those things.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I've been studying, and that's why I took a bit of a dip,
Of course.
went away, and I've studied people within the scene. I've been looking at how things are done.
Yeah.
So back to you asking the question, what's for the future?
Yeah. So literally the team is for this.
Yeah, so they actually came up to me.
Yeah.
So last year, 27th of December, I played at Sizzled Music Festival.
Yeah. Wait, before you pass that, you've been a regular at Sizzled.
Yeah.
You've been a regular at Sizzled.
I've played at Sizzled probably 6
Every
7
year.
times.
Every year you play at
Yeah.
Sizzled. Yeah. Right.
And
How's that
even-
experience, by the way, before we pass?
It's always a good party.
Yeah.
I always enjoy myself there.
Yeah.
Like, and they give me freedom to play, because Chad loves what I do as a DJ.
Yeah.
And he trusts me with everything, and he just says, just do you, bro.
Yeah.
People are gonna enjoy what you do, so just do you.
Yeah.
So I enjoy playing Sizzle. Like, if he wants me back there next year, I'm probably there again next year.
Definitely.
And then I played Warehouse as well. And obviously I would love to play the Warehouse Fest, but again, I've studied people, I've seen how things are supposed to be done, and I really do want to tap in this year.
Yeah.
Like properly with like social media, and I just want to try and get active within the scene again.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So played at Sizzled, and then two of the people that, we only 3 guys, well, 2 guys and a girl, they were at Sizzled, and then they looked at me, and when I was done at Sizzled, both of them came up to me and was like, this is not the way you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And they've been looking at me playing for years now.
Yeah.
So the one guy that I'll always trust is J Music.
Yeah.
So he's part of the team. And then I have another girl who's been a friend of mine as well. Her name's Robin.
Yeah.
The 2 of them came up to me. They were like, dude, you're not supposed to be doing this. Your radio show was called Common Grounds.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a brand that I am going to get
Back.
kicking off and back
Yeah.
for this year. So I don't want to speak too much about what we plan on doing, but we are planning to do things this year.
Yeah. So we should look out on the socials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Planning to do things this
Make sure the social manager's on par, and someone
then-
takes pictures of you.
Exactly. So what's good is like the team, the 2 people that I do have on board and that really understands my vision and what it is I wanted to do or what I want to do. Because I've been wanting to do this for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to throw events. I've been wanting to just be a creative.
Yeah.
And I never had the knack for like just tapping in and, you know, finding those avenues. And with these two people, they understand what it is I want to do.
Yeah.
And they are on board with what I want to do. They kind of have the same vision for what it is that I want to do.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be in the limelight of anything. They basically came to me and said, this is not what you're supposed to do. We want to get Chris J to the point where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can give other artists the platform.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to get in elsewhere these days. It's about who you know. It's about how many followers you have on social media.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to develop something where people can just come and listen to flipping good music.
Yeah.
This is why I love Slowdown
Yeah.
with Irshad and Cody Laspo.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the big names, bro. But if you go there, you listen to quality music, bro.
Yeah.
Quality. So yeah, for 2025, I don't want to speak too much on what we have planned or what we've been speaking about, but
Yeah. We must just watch the space.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get things going for this year.
Yeah,
man.
No, let's do this. So for when you're done planning for your first event, let's have another sit down and literally we'll just put it out live on Facebook and just talk about it.
100%.
Yeah, so as we have an idea of what to look forward to for the rest of the year,
Yeah,
2025.
will be dope.
Brother man, thank you very much for coming through. I know this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
You just opened up other avenues that I hadn't picked up about you, and now I know a bunch of things that we would not likely talk about while we're having a gig somewhere. I think you should go back and release those EPs. For one, the music was great. It was dope.
Yeah.
And I believe if this is music was made then, it's of high quality, like some of the tracks that you released. So just go back there and just put that music out so as we can hear it. You should also strive. Was it you? It was Dawson that released with Free Range.
Yeah.
I believe at some stage, if you guys had released CPH4 with Free Range, it would have been on vinyl. I can tell you there's a huge market of vinyl out there. Matt being one of those DJs that literally buys music almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, try those avenues.
Yeah.
Try and press your music. Sculptured music is pressing music.
Yeah.
The market for vinyl is ripe out there.
Yeah.
300 copies move like we're buying lollies across the shop. So literally, I think you should go back and put that music out there.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of us waiting for that to come out. I wish you the best for 2025, bro. Like it's great that we're doing this interview in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We'll be watching out for what happens by the end of the year, and I wish you luck on everything.
Thank you so much, man. There's probably so many things that we could like still speak about.
Yeah.
But obviously it's episode 2. It's just also like, again, this is not for the people. I'm not coming at anyone. I'm not speaking down on anyone.
Yeah.
It was just my story of what happened to me in music, because a lot of people came up to me and dog, like, again, you've ended the podcast now basically, but just it got to the point where I don't want to go to parties because I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
So many people come up to you, Chris, where have you been? What have you been up to? What are you doing? And then I just want to creep into my home and I just want to be like, I want to go home. Like, too many questions, and just brings up anxiety because I know I haven't been doing much, and people are looking and waiting. So I made a promise to myself for 2025. I'm tapping in.
There's something that nobody teaches you, based on the idea that what we do is self-taught, right? There's no school where you become a DJ and you become an artist and you become big. And I think one of our struggling part for a lot of DJs is the anxiety of being famous. You know, you're walking in Sea Point, for instance, at the beach with your partner, and you got like 10 people that know who you are and you don't know them by name. That brings a lot of social anxiety to people, because what comes with that is criticism.
Yeah.
right? It comes with criticism, and we're not trained to deal with criticism.
Yeah.
You get to a party and somebody's going to tell you, hey, you played kak the other day. It might hit hard.
Yeah.
It might hit hard, and you end up judging it as Jesus. So people think, you know, and if there's no way of coming back from that, it tends to deter you as an artist, and it makes you feel down, and it makes. I know people that have not seen numbers off of their music that they've released.
Yeah.
Cause of instances, they don't have the right social media manager. They don't have the right person that's literally distributing their music, and that tends to deter them from literally just moving forward.
Yeah.
But literally, if you go back and you sit down and you look at why that is, it's things that one can fix.
Yeah.
You know, like very quickly.
100%.
Yeah, and then you just put in effort and just a couple of hours into it, a couple of days, a month or two, and you'll literally gradually see the change.
100%. Yeah.
Why I'm saying that is, behind you there's a set of vinyls there.
Mm-hmm.
I can pull out a track that was released somewhere by 2007 and play it, and a party will go wild.
100%.
I've played a couple of tracks where I've gotten people that ask me, Jesus Christ, who released this track? When was it released? Only to tell them, this is a track from 2004. They were shocked.
And it's still banging.
And it's still banging.
Still banging.
You know? Those kind of things tell me that either the song wasn't marketed enough, and there's a lot of music out there.
100%, bro.
Cut away the kak that is out there. There's kak somewhere out there. Cut the kak out, and you go and you dig. You literally find
Gems.
bangers for days.
Gems.
Bangers for days. You look at artists like Larry Head. Look at how long he's been in the industry and how much music is out there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. There's a song called Searching. I was reading the cover the other day, and I saw Lars's name on that EP. Like, my heart just went, Jesus Christ.
I think I know this song.
Yeah, Searching. That song. You play it today. You play it today at any party. I promise you.
Yeah.
It flips. It flips. It's a. That was released back then.
Yeah.
You know. So there's a lot that is out there that says the marketing wasn't done right, or this wasn't done right, and it's literally just that it never got to the right hands that need to give you the right feedback. Mm-hmm. So
I got you.
Don't stop, my man.
I got you.
Don't stop. The right ears are out there and they're listening, and literally we'll do it. We'll do whatever's on our powers to literally just get as much as what I feel. There's a lot of artists in Cape Town. There's a lot of DJs in Cape Town that are not known, and literally they're doing great stuff.
100%.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
You're one
Thank
of
you so
them.
much, bro.
So 2025 is literally going to be for you.
I hope so. Again, I'm just looking to find the love
Yeah.
for music.
Yeah.
And hopefully that love can overflow into other people as well.
Yeah.
Because if people can see you enjoying doing something, they're going to feed off that energy.
Yeah.
And it eventually flows from there.
Yeah.
It has that ripple effect.
Yeah.
Because if I show you that I'm enjoying it, you're going to enjoy me. You're going to tell Matt. Matt's going to tell that person. Chris J, good energy, good vibes, good music, plays well. Go check him out.
Yeah. All right. What are you doing this weekend?
This weekend, as of today,
Yeah.
I actually have a birthday party that I have to attend to a bit later.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go nap since I came home from work 6 o'clock this morning. I'm going to go take a nap, and then I need to be there at 5.
Yeah.
And then nothing else for the weekend.
Nothing. All right. No, I enjoy the birthday party. Wish the person a happy birthday from Analogue Culture.
Well done.
And yeah, man. Where do we catch you on socials?
Okay, so on Facebook, Chris J. On Instagram, the Chris J. And that's about it. If you do want to send me an email, if you do want to go ahead and book me for anything, it's thechrisj@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Just send me an email, that's where you can find me.
All right. Don't forget to open up a TikTok account, and every day you tell me, hey Ndo-C, for like 7 days straight up.
Yes, sir.
You'll like it.
Now I must start doing dances on TikTok and stuff.
You don't have to dance.
Yeah, I should tap into it though.
Yeah, but I literally can say, if you were looking at Facebook and how it came up, from back in the days and how it became #1 platform before everybody else came into the game.
Yeah.
I don't know where TikTok got the blueprint, but that's what they are.
Isn't it owned by Facebook?
No.
No?
No. I don't know if they bought it, but I know TikTok is being, it's from China.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because every video you see on Facebook, it's a TikTok video these days.
No, literally they download from TikTok and post on Facebook. But literally TikTok is its own thing.
Dude, I only found out recently what the TikTok homepage looks like.
Yeah. There's a funny story about that. It's just that I haven't gotten conclusive and factual evidence of this. But apparently what we see as content in South Africa and what content is on TikTok for China, way different, bro. Way different. So I haven't been able to confirm that. I just need to find somebody in China and ask, what do you guys see on TikTok as opposed to what we see on TikTok? But yeah, that's a story for another day. But yeah, it's a well-functioning platform for alerting people of your music, alerting people of events, alerting people of things that you do as an individual. So when you have a studio session, just like a 5 minutes too long. 60-minute video of you playing.
People's attention span can't anymore. 30 seconds, that's what they can focus on.
Yeah. So a minute of you playing an instrument, a minute of you in studio, a minute of your music coming out, a minute of an event, it'll literally get you there.
Thank you.
And I'm definitely sure that's an easy one.
Thank you so much, man. Also, just like big shout out to like friends that is in the scene, and 2 people in particular, like Irshad Samai and not so much J Music. He's not really in the forefront of music, but like behind the scenes. Yeah. For like really still encouraging me to like still keep going. Yeah. And always when I need a helping hand, they are always there. So like big shout out to the 2 of them. Yeah. Really 2 people in the industry that I still keep really close and that we can still really have a chat as friends. Yeah. Not as creatives. Yeah. We can go to his house, we can have a braai. So like big shout out just the 2 of them for just keeping me going. Big shout out to Tebow as well, man. He sparked the fire in me as well. So like, thank you so much, bro. Yeah.
And thank you very much for coming through to the show. We'll see you very soon.
Yeah, part 2.
Yeah.
How long were you? An hour. Peace out, guys. Thanks, man.
Go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got more of this coming up. DJ Ndo-C out. #Park. Woo.